Hey guys, today I want to talk about some of the headlines we've been seeing lately around Florida's economy and, more specifically, real estate. There's been a lot of noise out there, and I want to help separate the facts from the fear. Let's be honest, the media loves negative narratives, but the reality here on the ground in South Florida is far more nuanced, and frankly, much more optimistic than what's being reported. First, remember, Florida is a big, diverse state. There are major differences between South Florida, Central Florida, the Panhandle, and the Gulf Coast, not just in lifestyle, but in the structure and performance of their real estate markets. Today, I want to focus on South Florida. This is where I live with my family, and it's where I spend a lot of time, both personally and professionally, analyzing real estate trends and economic shifts. Back when I was on Wall Street, we had a saying, follow the smart money. That's just as true in real estate as it is in the financial markets. So what's really happening in South Florida? Since COVID, we've seen a major behavioral shift. People realized they had more flexibility in where they live and work. For us, we'd been eyeing Florida for years, but we couldn't make the move until my wife was able to work remotely. COVID made that possible, and we weren't alone. Families from all over, especially high-tax states like New York and California, started looking at Florida. Why? No state income tax, year-round sunshine, and a regulatory and tax environment that supports wealth creation. Wealth is mobile, and it moves away from overtaxation and overregulation. We're seeing that in real time. The Northeast is losing high-income residents and businesses, and Florida is gaining them. To give you a few numbers, 8 out of the 10 fastest-growing states have no income tax and Republican leadership. 9 out of 10 states losing the most population and wealth have high taxes and the opposite political profile. A New Yorker earning $250,000 could save $25-30K per year just by becoming a Florida resident. Yes, the cost of living in South Florida has risen, but it still doesn't compare to New York City, San Francisco, or LA. Now, what does all of this mean for real estate? Here's the headline. Total real estate dollar volume in South Florida is up 48% compared to pre-COVID. Yes, transaction volume is down due to higher rates and prices, but the luxury market is exploding. Luxury properties over $1,000 per square foot are up 700% in Miami. Over $2,000 per square foot, up 2,200% for single-family homes, 650% for condos. The ultra-luxury segment, $3,000 plus per square foot, 27 sales in the first half of 2024, 0 in 2019. And nearly all of these deals, 84% of condos and 79% of high-end homes, are all cash. Where's the money coming from? A lot of it is from New York City, which has lost $9 billion in income to Miami and Palm Beach over the past 5 years. That's huge. The top 1% of earners in high-tax states fund over half the tax revenue, and they're moving. Florida now has more assets under management than Connecticut, which used to be the hedge fund capital of the US. Let's look at just 2 names. Jeff Bezos, moving to Miami, likely saving tens of millions in taxes. Ken Griffin moved Citadel's HQ from Chicago to Miami. These aren't random anecdotes. This is the smart money, and it's coming to South Florida. Globally, Miami is now the 5th busiest market in the world for ultra-luxury real estate, with sales more than tripling from 2020 to 2024. And it's not just domestic capital. There's a huge inflow of money from Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Canada, and Europe. International buyers are looking for wealth preservation, lifestyle, and growth opportunities, and South Florida checks all those boxes. Investments and growth prospects, as well as general attractiveness of South Florida lifestyle, these wealthy international individuals are looking to capitalize on economic opportunities offered by Florida. Let's touch on interest rates quickly. The Fed just cut rates by 25 basis points. Not a massive move, but it signals the start of a rate-cutting cycle. Mortgage rates have already come down from over 7% to about 6.25%, and many economists believe will drop below 6% within the next year. This matters. Lower mortgage rates don't necessarily lower prices, but they do bring more buyers and give sellers more confidence to list and move. That should help unfreeze some of the current market bottlenecks. So what's the bottom line? In my view, we're in the early innings of a 10 to 20-year trend. South Florida is positioned to be a global hub for capital, innovation, and lifestyle. And luxury real estate will be a direct beneficiary of this wealth migration. I don't see that reversing anytime soon. Why would people return to high-tax, low-quality jurisdictions? Of course, this doesn't mean every part of Florida will benefit equally. It's important to understand the differences between single-family homes versus condos, new construction versus pre-2000 buildings, neighborhood dynamics like Sunny Isles versus downtown Miami, or Hollywood versus Coral Gables. And let's not forget upcoming policy changes, like potential shifts to property tax laws. I'll be diving deeper into all of that in the coming weeks, so stay tuned. In the meantime, feel free to reach out via email or WhatsApp at 551-404-5463 and follow me on social media at Vitali Sells Florida. And remember, follow the smart money.